This is the largest of a nest of tables, 4 tables in all. And the other 3 tables fit inside. They're all diminishing in size and fit inside the largest table. You can see some rebates up there at the top where the next table then fits in. So I'd like to go through the process of how to take this table's design to make the second table. And I'll start with the top of the first table and use that component to make the second table's top. So I've just copied it down and I'm going to make it unique. So it is now a different component. You can see here top number 2 in the entity information. And obviously this tabletop will be smaller, so I need to work it to position it where it will fit into the first table. And so this side of the second tabletop is going to fit right against, except I do want to give a little bit of slop here. I'm going to move that over a 32nd of an inch in a minute. I'm bringing it up to the bottom of the rebate there. So now it's right up against, and I just want to move it over a 32nd. So that gives a little bit of slop, not very much. Now you can see the tabletop is way too big. So I need to edit that component, select the left side entities, and then with the move tool, just shift that whole end of that table over to that same corner, but I want it to be again another 32nd of an inch gap. So I've shifted it over on both ends, and that's the new tabletop. The next thing is to bring this upper rail. It's the same size in all 4 tables, so I'm just going to grab that same piece and make a copy of it and bring it over and fit it where it will eventually be. Actually, that's not where it's going to eventually be. I need to push it over further to the left and bring it down as well. The top face of that rail is on the bottom face of the top, so that's okay. Now I'm bringing it over to its position there, but I need a 32nd gap here as well. Not that component, this component. So I need to just select that component, use the move tool, and shift that over a 32nd. So that's the real position now of that rail on the second top. That looks good. All right, now for the legs, the posts, or these columns. So I will copy over the existing columns and just bring them over and position them where they will be on the second table. Obviously these legs or posts are too long for the second table. And I need to adjust the length. And the way I'm going to do that, but first I need to make these unique components, because I'm going to change those, and they will, now those are column number 2s, or legs number 2. But I need to bring this upper portion down, so I'm editing the component, picking that upper capital section of the column. I'm going to go to an X-ray mode here to see what's going on. There's that upper capital part of the column, and I need to bring it down to fit where it will be, and that face is going to fit right on the underside. Let's get rid of X-ray now. Now you can see that that's fitting where it's supposed to fit. But the column, the shaft of that column is still too high, too long. So if I look at an X-ray, you can see that it's protruding up into the capital. So I'm going to shorten that shaft, edit the component, or that was a group, select that upper rim, use the move tool, and bring that down to its real position there. So now I've got a column that fits and works. The back leg has to be done the same way. I'll just speed that up because it's the same process, bringing the capital down and then modifying the length of that column or that shaft inside. And now I've got the 2 new shortened columns. The foot is the same for all 4 tables. So again, I can just copy it over and position it. There's no change to the component. It's the same component for all 4 tables. I need to copy that whole section over to the left side. So I'm selecting those 4 pieces, bringing over on the red axis, flip along the red direction, and now I need to move it over to its final position in the second table. I hit the right arrow so it goes on the red axis, and I need that 30-second gap again right there. Okay, there's only one more component to the table, and that's that back curved stretcher. And I'm going to use the first table's stretcher to make the second one. I'll copy first, just copy it, and move it on the green axis, and now make that unique, because this is, I'm going to change this component size. This time I'm going to use the scale tool to scale this, and I have actually checked the dimensions, the length dimension of the first table and the length dimension of the second table, and I'm just going to ratio that scaling to the ratio of those two lengths. There it is. And now I've got a stretcher that will fit into those mortises. There's a little bit of a change in the width of the tenon on the end using the scale tool. I can fix that later, but now what I want to do is just select all of the components of the second table. I need to select the top and the two top rails. Those are all the components now for the second table, and I'll just go ahead and make that a new component, the table 2 or nest 2 assembly. That does it. So very quickly I can use the first table to make all of the second one, and then the third one, and the fourth one. Oh, here I need to push this forward just 1/4 of an inch, because that's the position that prevents an interference back there. That'll be the position of the second table when you push it in.